are here again with another interesting edition on Desopadec Weekly. All the activities of the Delta State Oil Producing Areas Development Commission is what we bring to you on this platform weekly. In our last week's edition, we brought you a report on the Desopadec's assessment tour of flood-ravaged areas in Delta oil-bearing communities. The interventionist agency has taken a good step further to provide palliatives to flood victims in the oil-producing communities. Come along with us, enjoy as we bring details. Joy Ochei is my name.
My name na Basharon Askiaoki. We be managing director and chief executive officer for Desopadec. I come talk to our people. Say, as the time done the reach, when they will start election and the things when they will take down, I come the appeal say, all the things when I tell us make we do, make life for better for now. What we don't do for the various communities. I want to say make na wash over them well. Make they not destroy anything. Particularly for this time when the election they come so. Because why? This election when they come self, they take gun, they take cutlass, take gun. Now PVC now you go get. Collect your PVC. Anything when they your mind, first collect your PVC. When the day reach, now thumbprint, they tell the thumbprint. Go carry and put for ballot paper. Fight not the day. But if anything they, even if argument go day, men are not argue reach where and go destroy the things when government don't do corner. I beg una. So that when government bring other things, you go meet the one when done the ground before. I beg una. At the time to show say una appreciate what the government they do. And that one I go good for us.
Families have been rendered homeless and thrown into hardship as more communities in Urobo, Isoko, Ndokwa, and Ijo lands are submerged in flood. Delta State Oil Producing Areas Development Commission, the Desopadec, has initiated far-reaching steps to put smiles on the faces of the people living in the affected communities with these humanitarian efforts. It is interesting to note that the Desopadec not only conducted need assessment tour across the affected oil-bearing communities, but also set up residential camps for the internally displaced persons. At Ole, the headquarters of Isoko South Local Government Area, the Desopadec has established a camp at St. Michael's College to shelter the flood victims. On arrival, our team of media personnel met officials from the commission overseeing preparations of the classrooms as accommodation places for the IDPs. Laborers have been engaged to clean up the bushy environment and make it habitable.
We are at the IDP camp, Ole, being sponsored by the Desopadec, so that there are our people in the mandate area who are already displaced by the flood. So we are preparing a place for them to bring them out by the Desopadec so that they can settle here. As you can see, where we are right now, we are at the site, St. Michael's College Ole, where these people will be settled. Then you can see now the work is going on here now. You can see the preparation is on, the clearing is on, other jobs, the rooms are being cleaned. Then fumigation will be on. Then the other things are going on. Ball will be sang everywhere. There will be toilets. So now the job is ongoing now.
Processes to have uninterrupted access to clean and potable water were on when we visited the camp. The camp administrator, Prosper Edo, gave some insight on what should be expected as camp activities kicked off.
Desopadec established this camp to take care of those persons that are ravaged by this flood in the mandate area, especially in Isoko. And this camp is specially established to bring in people from those riverine-prone areas of Uzere, Ibide, Asabese, Ivrogbo, Aviara, and those areas that are completely submerged. So what we are doing here is that we have set up this camp. People that are displaced will come here. We will provide them with the basic amenities. We will feed them. We will provide beddings for them. As you can see in the camp now, we are providing mosquito nets, foams, and their entire welfare. There's going to be a medical team that is on ground to take care of people who are sick. The whole place is fumigated, and everything is basically set to give them comfort throughout the period they are going to be in this camp, so that by the time the water subsides and they are able to go home, they will not have that full impact.
After the preparations, which took an entire day, the displaced persons were evacuated from the different communities in Isoko to the St. Michael's College Camp Ole. 2 days later, the Managing Director and Chief Executive Officer of Desopadec, Basharun Askiaoge, visited the camp to inspect the facility and also to ensure strict adherence to the standards set by the Commission. The MD was taken through the accommodation facility, the food bank, the pharmacy, and the health center established in the camp. The camp administrator, Mr. Edo, explains to the CEO of Desopadec the need to take food items from the food bank and to some other communities trapped by the flooding in Isoko. Officials from the safety unit of Desopadec were on ground with necessary equipment to check any unsafe acts and potential hazards within the camp already in place.
This is our storeroom where we keep our food items. If we go outside, I will show you how we are taking some food items to Uzere, Igbide, Enwe, Olomoro, and Anume, where people are trapped there that they could not come, and Aviara, so that we distribute food items for them there. So all those the tippers outside there are the ones that are conveying the food items to those various communities, and we've started since morning, sir.
Speaking with the Desopadec Weekly TV, the MD, Basharun Askiaoge, said the Commission was committed to the needs of all displaced persons in Isoko, Urobo, Ijo, and Ndokwa mandate areas.
Well, you know, as our functions entail, we are an interventionist agency, and we intervene not only in the provision of infrastructure or human capital, but where we have issues as we have now, that of flooding, in everything that will bring succor to our people, we have to intervene. Because obviously, our people have been displaced by this flood that was unforeseen. And so, as a responsible agency, we have to come to their aid.
While advising people still living in areas where there are signs of flood to come to the camps, the representative of the Isoko ethnic nationality on the board of the Desopadec, Dr. Paul Owe, expressed satisfaction with the readiness of the Commission's IDP camps set up to assist the displaced persons in his area.
My own bit here is to see to it that the Isoko ethnic nationality, which basically is made up of Isoko North and South, all affected persons as much as humanly possible are covered by these efforts. That's what we're trying to do. You have to be alive first and foremost for you to do any other thing. So if the water is threatening your community or your area, my advice is that you should come out and come to this safe camps that have been created so that you are safe, and then in the middle of that, with time, the water will go down and people can go back to their place. So let every person who is affected come out and be part of this.
The affected persons, overjoyed with the rescue efforts of the Commission, sang, danced, and celebrated with the MD, CEO of Desopadec. Narrating their experiences before coming to the camp, they thanked the agency for establishing the camp and caring for them.
The situation, the water plenty well, and one man is there for losing himself because of the water. As for we come to this camp now, we dey eat well, we are feeding well, everything we are getting everything where they are giving us. The Desopadec, they are trying because many people they are still coming, so they are trying very well.
In certain bags, the water came. When it came, it started eating our bush, destroying our crops. Before it came to our midtown, cover our house, drive us from the house. Our properties was destroyed. Then to rescue us. When we are here, they are trying. They are feeding us well. They give us accommodations. We have to sleep. Their bedroom, toilet, waters, everything is okay. They are trying. The Desopadec is trying for what it's doing. We are very grateful for the Desopadec for what they are doing.
From St. Michael College, the Desopadec IDP camp, Ole, our crew proceeded to Ndokwa Nation to see the measures put in place to address the challenges of those affected by the flood. On arrival, our crew met a truckload of food items which included rice, beans, gari, yam tubers, noodles, vegetable oil, toiletries, water, and other necessary materials procured for the use of internally displaced people in Ndokwa. The Executive Director, Social Services Directorate, the Desopadec, Leonard Anuka, and one of the representatives of Ndokwa Nation on the governing board of the Desopadec, Osai Azaka, were both on ground to monitor the distribution of the items in the camp. As a result of the flood, the truckload of food could not get to the Desopadec IDP camp at Ashaka. Rather, the items were offloaded into different boats for onward ferrying to the camp set up there. Also, boats navigated through flooded farmlands of Kwale and Ashaka to the Abo River bank before trucks were used to transfer the food items to the Desopadec Ndokwa East IDP camp. Speaking with our crew at the camp, the executive director, Barrister Anoka, said the population of victims at the Kwale IDP camp was overwhelming. Hence, the creation of an additional one in Ndokwa East by Desopadec to cater for displaced persons in that angle.
Since this is flood insurgence, it's been very hectic for our people. The flood took over 96% of Ndokwa East is completely underwater. Then we come to Ndokwa West, we have about 30% affected. We didn't really have much of that occurrence in Okwane. We have an IDP camp in Kwale that's currently run by the state government, SEMA. Now, because the population there is overwhelming, we'll have well over 4,000 people. So we decided to, okay, because we're an intervention agency, so we decided to create another camp in Ashaka. Because Ashaka is the only place we have a little bit of upland in Ndokwa East. So a lot of people from the riverine communities who have been submerged had to convert in Ashaka. So we decided to create our own camp for them to intervene. So we have a lot of people here. People are still registering as we talk. You can see a lot of crowd, children, women, men are registering. I will make adequate provision for them.
The chairman, Ndokwa East Local Government Area Council, Honorable Jean Governor, in a chat with our crew, threw highlights on the devastating effects of the flood.
The entire local government is flooded. When I mean entire. If we have any land, which is like the place we are standing now, is about 10% of our land mass is available for us. All the farmlands, all the communities. We have 73 communities. None is spared. And so far, we lost 6 lives. So now we have seen the hand of the Desopadec in terms of the items they brought. We are overwhelmed, and I think my people are happy. I'm glad because from what I'm seeing, feeding will not be a problem. And we are glad that the Desopadec came to our aid.
Some of the IDPs who spoke with the Desopadec Weekly TV crew described the flood situation as sad, calling on government agencies and good-spirited Nigerians to come to their aid.
The house now is almost covered. It's almost covered. From the compound self, with the parlor, if I stand like this, raise my 2 hands, my leg don't reach ground. So automatically, before I go enter that house, you go past 2 months or 3 months, before I go back enter that house. That is if water dry, oh. If water not dry, that means I'm homeless.
Why we come here, we say the flood. As the floods come, it carry our house and our crops that we will plant. And so the flood just do us. Even though the water even pass window level. My message, Desopadec, I greet you people, because when I try, not that easy. To give us where we go stay, to give us food, on a try, we thank you.
The MD, CEO, Desopadec, Bashirun Askia Oge, spent a difficult time through the flooded farmlands and residential houses, ferried in a boat to the Ashaka camp. He was taken round the camping facility by the ED of Social Services, Desopadec, Barrister Anoka, and Ndokwa ethnic representative on the Desopadec board, Osai Azaka. Some of the critical facilities inspected included the accommodation, food bank, beddings, the pharmacy and health center. The MD CEO also witnessed the registration processes of the admitted inmates and made some correctional guidelines of the process to the camp administrators.
You note them also, must be noted. Yes. Then when you have nursing mothers, those are still breastfeeding, noted. And I want that if they can open the front here, all the nursing mothers can be in one place. Something more comfortable. Yes. Anybody that is coming to register in the camp must stay here. For whoever is registering to go and come back, no. We want to be responsible for everybody that is here. Anybody that is registered here must stay here. When you want to start going away, you delete the person. That we know the person is off. We want to attend to those that are actually in need.
Desopadec is doing much more than just setting up and running IDP camps in its mandate areas. In our next episode, we shall bring you more intervention programs of the Commission and bringing succor to the people affected by the rampaging flood in Delta State oil-bearing communities. Thank you so much for watching this edition. If indeed you enjoyed it, join us when we return next week with another interesting package on Desopadec Weekly. Follow us on our social media handles always for questions, comments, and contributions. Together, we'll build a better and stronger Delta State. On behalf of the entire team here, Joy Uche is my name. Stay safe. I'll see you next week.